Hey, it's Kim and I'm back with another video. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Today I'm going to be setting up for the month of May. I have not done any prep work as usual. Do I have to keep saying that disclaimer? I don't know. But I've done no prep work and we're just going to set it up together. And also what we're going to do today is everything for the May setup. So top to bottom, rooter to the tutor, all of it. So I need to do my swatch not page, but my little swatch section. I need to set up the monthly layout, of course, my May dashboard, and my weeklies. I'm going to do my weeklies, which is something I don't usually do, but I've been busy, so I really need to do them early. And this is just a peek at what the Sterling Ink subscription looks like for May. Very purple heavy. I'm okay with that. This is one of the vellums that you get, and then this is the other vellum. I would like to show you against the white background. Very pretty, very beautiful. A lot of like wisteria type colors, so like that dusty purple as well as some brighter purples. Really pretty. And the first thing that stands out to me is the purple, of course. So my first thought is that I may use my TWSBI 700, what is it called? VAC 700R for my pen for the month. And I always keep in here Sailor Shikiori Shigur. I feel like somebody told me how to pronounce that correctly before, and I don't know if I'm butchering it, but it's the deep purple ink color that's always in this pen, and I will likely use that for my pen for the month of May, and this is an extra fine nib. All right. Oh, and this is the iris color way, if you're interested. All right, so we have, and like I said, this might be easier if you could see this on a white background. So that is the calendar for May, and I'm just looking as to how I'm going to fit it. I would likely cut this section off, though I do hate to cut that large piece of a flower off, but we'll see. But I'll likely cut this section off so that I can tip it into my planner, which is the Sterling Ink Common Planner in the N1 or standard traveler's notebook size. And I do have the full year version. And to take out all of these stickers. Okay, so this is the larger vinyl sticker. Looks like a staircase. Can't quite get it out of there right now. And then here are all of the others. So here's another of the vinyl stickers. Which direction does this go? Like that. Here's the freebie that you'll get with May orders. These are the tabs. That is the May headers and the block font. Here's the little mini calendar and the business card for May. And then also the May headers in the script font. Maybe let me pull you in a bit closer. All right, it's kind of a gloomy day today. Not terribly cloudy, but also not very bright. And I'm only using like natural lighting. So the colors might shift as the video goes on, but that's okay, right? So here's some of the scene stickers, the floral stickers, more scene stickers, and then those edges and border stickers. Some of the larger floral elements, along with a larger scene sticker. And then we have the washi strips. So these are half strips, and that's one long strip, along with some other decorative items or floral items in the middle. And there are two of those. And then there's also the frames, the torn paper, and the stamps. Take that off. And then here are the strips. Oh, and you also get the numbers that come in every monthly subscription kit, which come in very handy, especially if you have like an undated planner that you need to date. All right, so what I'm going to do before we move away from the stickers and get right in. I'm going to peel the backing off of this one. And I do that just for this one, just because it's easier to see the actual strips once you peel the backing off. Part of me kind of wishes that there was like one whole page of a sticker that you could kind of cut to customize it on your own, but that has not yet been released as one of the offerings from Sterling Ink. But it would be pretty cool if it was. But these are the strip stickers that I'm going to be using primarily for my weeklies, and you'll see once we get to that. All right, so here is the May spread. And I'm gonna remove all of my little sticky note reminders. This one is unused, just waiting to kind of be used somewhere. And here is the May monthly layout. Oh, before that, duh, we have to figure out what we're doing for May, right? So I have to set up my monthly swatch page, or just monthly swatches in general for May. So here in the quarterly sections, that's what I've been using it for. I still have yet to figure out what to use these for. I actually had an idea, and I have to think long and hard about it because I didn't write down what that idea was. So I have to remember my idea of what I could use this section for. And then this was from April, and I was trying to figure out what the accent color of ink I would use. That's why that's there, but we'll do May. So we'll get right into setting up for May. And what I like to do is use one smaller sticker from the kit that sort of encompasses all of the colors, or most of the colors. And let's see, maybe when I was showing these to you, I could have been thinking a little ahead. These corner and edge stickers are really great for this purpose because they do fit well into this little area. So I'll leave that one there. I often thought of like the stamps, but I don't find that they are bright enough. They can fit well, but maybe not, they're not the best ones to use for that purpose. Oh, I think my landscaper is here, so hopefully you won't hear any of that in the background, but if you do, that's what that is. All right, so I think I am going to use one of these from this set, and at first glance, I was debating between this one that is more of a darker green kind of background, sort of like an army green type of color, or this one that has the charcoal gray slash black kind of background. But it also does, and I'm not sure if you can see that detail, it does have some of the purple flower on it. So, and am I holding that upside down? Maybe. I think I want to use this one because it has the flower in there. I do like the way this will fit there. Okay, so we got that fairly centered well. And then to go ahead and pick out some Tombow marker colors that are going to go with this, the colors here. So of course I'm thinking purple. 623, Tombow 623 is Purple Sage. That's one that I actually have out already because I've been using it this week. That could be one. And I'm just gonna go start putting them here. That was way too wide. I do also like the grays that I'm seeing in this kit, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, Tombow N55, which is right here. It's a deeper gray. Well, let me look at my swatches. N55, so Cool Gray 7. I think will go nicely with this kit. Also, what else? Let's pick a sheet, a sticker sheet that kind of shows all of the colors really well, and it's usually this washi sheet that does that. So I feel like the 623 goes well with these flowers. I just said the name, oh, wisteria, with the wisteria flowers. I kept wanting to say hyacinth. I actually have some of these in my backyard, but the 623 goes well with that color. What else? Okay, so let me first just start getting these colors down on the page. I also feel like 228 could go well, but I think 228 goes well with everything. This one that I always pull out. That is it called Gray Green? Tombow 228 Gray Green. 192 Asparagus might be a little too light, but I think I'll put it down on the swatches still. So those are the markers that I've pulled out for the month that I think do correspond pretty well with the colors in the kit for May. I'm gonna cover that up. And washies. Alright, so I only pulled out a few washies. Very few. Not feeling extremely inspired by my collection today. That's okay. What I have noticed as I've been doing this for the past, 4 months of the year, unlike last year and maybe even the years prior, when I would use these, or when I would put together these swatch pages and pretty much use everything from the swatch page, what I've been noticing is that lately I don't necessarily use everything that I put down. So all of the washi, options I won't always use. All of the markers I won't always use. I've kind of been playing it by ear, and I think it's primarily twofold. This is just for inspiration, of course, right? So if my mood changes or shifts, then maybe I won't want something that I picked a few weeks prior. And I think maybe also along those same lines, because I've been setting up my weeklies as they come as opposed to doing them all at once up front, sometimes I'm just not into the things that I may have chosen, when I was doing the swatches for the month in general. I think I'm just going to leave it at these 3 washies for now. Looking up at my washi tape wall to see if there's anything else I would add. Not really. And I think I will write in my ink color down here. All right, so that is my swatch layout for May. I'm trying to figure out why my little tab to show me like where to turn to this is on the wrong page. I don't know. I think just last month I didn't move it over. Okay, so that's my swatch page for May. And now we can get into the monthly. And I believe for the monthly, so I have pretty much a formula. I pretty much do the same thing, top left, something across the whole bottom, and I'll put a larger sticker either on the left or the right at the bottom. So we're going to do the same exact thing for May. It's just choosing what washies and things I will use. Primarily, okay, so I know I want to use one of the washi strips from the kit. We're going to go from this end to that end because we have this larger space on the bottom right, so that is perfect for putting one of these beautiful scene stickers, or maybe one of the like vinyl decals. We go there. That one looks nice, but that one's pretty big. Maybe there, but that's a lot. I feel like I want something a little more open. Yeah, I think I like the way that one looks. And I'm going to pair that with this lighter grid washi. It doesn't have to be super straight. Just going to use my ruler to wedge it in the center Oh yeah, this is not straight at all. And try to flatten that out a bit. And also cut that right there with my ruler. Okay. So that's that. And then the, oh, how would I take this out? All right. So then this sticker is going to go over the top, and pulling out my scissors. I'll see where I want to cut this. Okay, I'm going to put this side down last because the sticker, the washi strip, is kind of uneven. It doesn't go straight across. So I just want to make sure I line it all up very well. And this higher part of the washi sticker, I want it to line it up exactly with the bottom line of that calendar block there. I feel like on this camera you can't really see this washi tape all that well, but you can kind of see it. And now I can better line up this sticker. I do feel like it looks a little busy, but that's okay. Stick it down there. And because it's like a vinyl sticker, I'm just gonna kind of burnish it with my nail to make sure it's sticking down all the way. Vinyl sticker and transparent, just to make sure the whole like backing is stuck down. And it doesn't look like it has like air bubbles or whatever underneath. All right, so that's that. And then I usually use the script sticker up at the top for the month header. So that's this one. And obviously the title of the month is short. So I feel like I need more. I need more like underneath it or on the side of it. And I want to go simple. So I do think I'm just going to do this beige color washi. So I'm going to put this here, and I know I'm going to put this all the way to start at May, or I'm sorry, the beginning of the 1st. So that's going to go there. Now, do I want to do some other kind of sticker on the side of that? I would love to. I was thinking maybe one of these larger wisteria. Okay, so our contenders are this one. I really want something that brings in a little bit more of the purple, even though we have a lot of purple going on, so that's really not a huge deal. I do like these green drapey things. I don't know what kind of flower that is. It's not like a Spanish moss. I don't know. This one, I appreciate that it goes closer to the 5, like it fills in a lot more of the space, but I didn't know if it really connected well with the title. I don't really think it does, but I still like the way it looks. So there's those two, and then it was just going to be just one of the flowers, like that one right there, but no, I don't want that one. Okay, so it's between these two, and I think I'm going to go with this one, the smaller of the two. And just like that, my monthly is set up. So we are set up, and I moved some stickers. I don't have any appointments that are like finalized in order for me to write in. I did just put Memorial Day here. I thought about using a sticker to signify it, which I could. Why not? So I'm going to put that there, and I moved some of my page flag reminders over to the monthly layout so that I remember to schedule certain things as the month progresses. But that's the monthly layout, and it's looking good, and I'm liking it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do are the weeklies. And like I said, I don't normally do that. If you've been around here before, I don't normally do that in my monthly setup videos because I feel like it just takes too long. So I'm going to do that now because the layout that I've been using is what I've been calling my Nolte layout. It's similar to my Nolte 1180, which is a passport size or similar to a passport size planner, and that's what I've been using for my everyday carry. But I kind of customized this layout with inspiration from Catherine of Sterling Ink to use it like that. I do have a video, and I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. So I do have a video where I do cover a few different weekly layouts that I tried back in February, and this was one of them. I landed on it. I kind of loved it. Not kind of. I did absolutely love it. So that's what I've been using for a while now. And I'm just going to continue that through May, because May is going to be busy, and I'm just not going to have the time or energy to honestly do these weeklies as the weeks come up. So I'm just going to do what I need to do. Set them up now. And I am marking the middle of these strips because these are the ones that I use to separate the top from the bottom, and I'll show you exactly how that's done. And just trying to kind of decide which ones I'd like to use. So technically I could, I guess, cut this entire sheet in half. I don't want to do that. But what I am going to do is just cut, since I'm using all of these thinner strips, I'm just going to go ahead and cut them. These are all cut in half. I also did one of the thicker strips, and when we get to, I guess, the last month, and I don't even know how many weeks there are. The last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I do consider this one May because 5 of the 7 days of that week are in the month of May. So I'm going to need all of these and then some. All right, so I'm going to lay down all of the stickers. And what I like to do, I have to reference one of my older ones. I do this around 12. Okay, right above the 12 o'clock time. Just below the 12 a.m. time block. And so I'm going to do that for all of the weeks, and then come back and add additional deco to each of the pages. Just a little bit, not a ton. You'll see what I mean as soon as we get back there. So I'm just going to cut one of these thicker strips in half. And no, it will not be even. It will not be perfectly, you know, cut in half. If I did this with any forethought, I would use like an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat to do this. But forethought is not my forte. So, well, as it relates to stuff like this. So I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to cut it in half as best as I can for the next week. So I'm going to use this thin strip that I've already sliced in half, and then I'll just use half of this thicker strip here and cut that in half, and then just leave this a remaining full half. Does that make sense? Probably not. Like I said, or was trying to explain, so I'm just going to take half of this thicker one, cut this in half, and use that for the strips down here at the bottom. A little bit tedious, a little bit fiddly. I can honestly see myself being annoyed having to do this, especially if I were not setting up this weekly ahead of time. Would it annoy me enough to just buy a separate page or another page of these strip stickers? Not likely. It would annoy me enough to just not do this layout. All right, so all 5 are there. And if you were wondering, I do feel like a little bit of a hump. I've been doing this weekly since March. So these stickers are pretty much in the same spot for all of those weeks since March. And you can feel like a bump in the book. I don't mind that. Also, it doesn't translate or it doesn't affect these pages over here in my dailies. Now I'll come back through and just add a bit of deco to each week. Also, what I have been doing is stamping the week number. I think I'm going to do that as well. And the ink color that I'll use for the month, I feel like I could use a couple, and maybe I will. So there's purple hydrangea. That will work well. I'm trying to pull out that washi strip page of stickers again. Okay, so there's purple hydrangea, there's perfect plumeria. These are all Versamagic dewdrops. Yeah, there's chalk ink, and those are all these colors here. Those are the ones I would likely use first. So any variety of those colors, I will do the stamping in a minute, and I'll show you what those stamps look like also. But the color I choose for those areas will be dictated by what scene sticker I'm going to include on these weeklies. Before I flip you through all of the weeklies, I figured I would show you what I'm using to stamp out the numbers, the week numbers, and the week title. So I use this stamp that says week, and this is from the Paper Person shop, and this set is called This Week. And then the font I'm using is from Carrie Bradford Studio in Madeline. That's the name of the font. And I'm using the numbers that are in that kit. So that's what I'm using to stamp out the week numbers. So I kind of will put them down and figure out the placement. So this is week 18. And I do this not only for decorative effect, but also because those little numbers on the common planner are little. Those little numbers are little. So in an effort not to strain my eyes, I'll just stamp them. Alright. And I like to use a stamping block that has a grid on it so that I can line up the numbers. Does it always work? No, not really. But it's helpful. And I'll put the stamp that says week right above that. And it may cover up a little bit of this mini grid, mini calendar there, but that's okay. And then what I usually do, since this is not a firm section of the book, I'll put something here. Actually, what I have been doing is just like using my phone. So I'll put something hard there underneath it so that when I do press down the stamp, it stamps. Okay, I think I'm going to go purple hydrangea for this week. So taking out the stamps that I've already set up. And ideally, I would just switch out the number stamp. Like, you know, switch out the 8 to make it a 9 for week 19. And do all of that. It may not work out all that well because the decorative sticker that I have underneath it sometimes might go a little high or low or whatever, and I'll just move them around. So I'll stamp all the others and then be right back to show you. So there is week 18 stamped out. And pretty straightforward. I kind of took some cues from the larger decorative stickers that I used to decide which stamp ink I would use up here. So that's how this is laid out. And to give you a view, if you're new around here, of what one of my finished weeklies look like, kind of like this. So my workouts and dinners go at the bottom, my weekly tasks and some notes right here in the middle section, and then the top section. At the very top are scheduled appointments, and then my theme for the day, if it's going to be work day, content day, admin day, so on and so forth, and then some day specific tasks right underneath that. So that's the general setup, and I have all of these ready to go. So like I said, I took inspiration from the larger decorative stickers that I chose to use on the layouts. That's how I decided which stamp color to use. So this one is purple hydrangea. So that's the one I used for the first week, and then for week number 19 I used Niagara Mist. So it's a very light, faint greenish color. And I do know that my accent color for these weeks are going to be, like for this one, I want it to be blue. So that's why these decorative stickers have mostly blue tints or blue florals in them. For this week, it's going to be purple. And then for week 20, I want to lean heavily into the greens. So I did choose to use the Versamagic Spanish Olive to stamp week 20 on there. And not exactly sure where the camera cut me off. My memory card is full. But I was saying for week 21, I knew that I wanted to use 992. And I didn't quite have a stamp ink that worked well. I do have Sahara Sand, but it has a little bit too much red in there. Like it's a little too warm for what I wanted. So I chose to use my Tombow marker on the stamp. So basically just kind of color in the acrylic stamp really well and really well. Just continue to color over top of it because you can't really see how much of this Tombow ink is really getting onto the stamp. So I do that a lot and then stamp it down. Now, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it works. I can read what it says, and sometimes I will go in and kind of color in any areas that the ink didn't pick up fully, and that works great for me. So that's another tip. If you don't have a certain ink but you want to use your stamps, maybe see if you have a Tombow marker that coordinates or that matches the ink that you're going for. Week 22, I did stamp, and I did it a little on the diagonal because of this sticker that I placed here. So I stamped it using Versamagic Perfect Plumeria. So it is more of a reddish kind of purple color. So that is my overall color scheme, or that will be my overall color scheme for week 22. All right, so now that the weeklies are done, we will go and get into the dashboard. So the monthly dashboard. Over on the left is going to be my focus and some projects and things that I want to focus on or pay attention to for the month. On the right is going to be my one line a day, and right in the middle of both of those will be the monthly calendar that I'm going to trim down to Standard Traveler's Notebook size, which is about 4.25 inches wide. So I'm going to get started on that. Alright, so that's the bottom border, and as you can see, I'll use the other script month header up at the top. That's okay, so I'll put that line there. And this was just my page flag to let me know where I was starting May, because I counted out the rest of the days that I need for April. And I will have you know, if you've been following this journey from the beginning, so originally I thought that May would start on page 131 because I was allotting a certain number of these pages for each month. And I just wanted to kind of track if I'm using up a whole lot, if I'm not using a lot. So I thought that May would start on 131. It's actually starting on 125. So we are going good. We're doing well with making sure we're utilizing all of the space for the dailies. So I'll do the same thing. I liked this setup that I used for April. And now I just need to pick what Tombow color I want to use. I think I'll do the 992. Someone asked recently about this ruler. This was a gift from a friend, but I know she got it from Muji. So I do know you can find it at Muji, likely, but also I do have one linked in my Amazon storefront if you would rather purchase through Amazon. And of course, those are affiliate links. So I get a little bit of a commission if you choose to shop through my links. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. So I'm not really measuring anything as it relates to these boxes, just kind of, I expect that to work well for me. I expect that that won't be a problem. I'll just wing it. Of course, it's my planner, right? I can do what I want. And as the month draws closer, I will fill in all of these sections and segments here. And up at the top on the right hand side, I'm going to write one line. Camera cut off again because my memory card is still full. So whatever can go wrong will go wrong. I'm not sure where that left off, but here's where we are picking up. So I filled in my one line on the right hand side, or at least set it up. And now I'm going to trim down this and tip it in. I'll just round this corner a bit. And then one other part that I completely forgot is my tracker. I didn't do my tracker page, guys. So we're going to do that. And then I'll flip you through all of the things we set up together for the month of May. So that got tipped in. Next, I'm going to put the tab for May. That looks about right. So let's do the tracker. So my tracker is pretty straightforward as well. I do a border sticker down at the bottom, one of the month headers up at the top, and then draw in the grid. I did use, which I said at the beginning, that these that come in the kit are really good if you have an undated planner, but I did use these month stickers to mark each month of the year. So that's one way that I use these. And I use the horizontal number lines from Sterling Ink to put down the month days as well, if you are wondering. And did I say what color I'm using on the monthly? What marker color? I was thinking maybe green. I don't know. I think what I'm going to start with is 992. So that is going to be the color that I use on the monthly. And then I'll write in tracker up at the top and then fill in all of the items that I'll be tracking for the month, but I'm going to leave it there for now instead of writing all that in right now, just in case I change my mind before the month starts. All right, so that was everything. Like I said, from the rooter to the tutor, we did all of the entire May 2024 setup. And here it starts with my monthly overview, my monthly layout and spread. I do truly like this, and I do like the colors. I thought that I would lean more into the purples, but it's cool. I'm liking more of the beige that I've decided to go with for this month. And then getting into the weeklies, we have, starting with week 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And I showed you already an example previously of how I use the weekly, so that's how I'm going to be using them going forward for the month. And then flipping to my tracker, which we just did like 2 minutes ago, Here's how I have that set up. I will be filling it in, like I said, as we get closer to the month, and then flipping straight to my collection pages, or where that starts in the daily pages in the back. So I have on the left hand side my dashboard, as I call it, where I'll note my focus for the month, what I'm reading, learning, watching, and any projects that I've decided to tackle for that month. I have the Vellum calendar tipped right in the middle, and then right after that, a space for my one line a day where I'll note down any highlights, lowlights, or whatever takeaways I have from that specific day. And I have it for May 1st through the 31st. And then right after that is where May 1st will start in my daily pages. So there you have it. Everything is set up for May. We walked through it all together, and it didn't take too long. It definitely wasn't short, but it didn't take too long. So I thank you so much for following along on today's video, taking a peek into how I've set up for the month. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And anything I've mentioned, maybe any previous videos that I feel will kind of go along with what we're doing here today, I'll have those linked down below as well. You can drop me any questions in the comments and I'll get right back to you. I also have, again, my Amazon storefront down below if you're interested in anything from there. Again, thank you so much for following along on today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.